So, welcome to Monday Night Brawl, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the fourth and final quarter-final match. Ronnie Knox takes on Ruby Roberts, the basic bitch slayer. I'm joined by the Exile, Luke Aldridge. Let me see if I can get this right. The current reigning longest SW Future Division champion in history and the holder of the 2020 Fast Track briefcase. Please tell me after 4 weeks I got it right.
The longest reigning SWE Future Division champion in history, Brian. But let's focus on what's happening right now. You see, over the years, the decades, even the centuries, that professional wrestling has existed. We have seen carpenters, mechanics of the ring. Ronnie Knox is the wrestling engineer. I mean, she has a technical proficiency, efficiency, and finesse unlike anyone in these tournament brackets.
And their opponents.
Well, this is one of my two picks that I thought could go far in the tournament. Iona Sky is already in the semi-final.
Now, Brian, that's hardly fair. Come on, how can you have two picks? You're only supposed to have one pick. You can't have two. Come on now.
Fair enough. Well, who's yours?
I'm not telling you that. It's a closely guarded secret.
So whoever wins, that's your pick.
Shut up, Brian.
Anyway.
Well, Ruby Roberts, I'll tell you something about Ruby Roberts in a short amount of time. Ruby Roberts has gone from the basic bitch slayer to the international bitch slayer, wrestling all over Scotland, wrestling in Denmark and Sweden. But I'll tell you something about Ronnie Knox as well. I'll go as far as saying that she's the best technical wrestler in these tournament brackets. She's wrestled for Pro Wrestling Eve, Progress Wrestling, Coliseum Pro. She has the toolbox at the ready, and we're going to be seeing some engineer shiznit here on Monday Night Raw.
Well, you'll probably agree with me when I say that these two women are probably the most well-travelled out of the whole tournament.
They've been clocking the vehicular miles on the road, the frequent fly miles on the air, in the air. Yeah, as you said, Brian, it pains me. It makes me struggle to wake up in the morning to agree with you. But yes, Ronnie Knox and Ruby Roberts are two of the most well-travelled competitors here in the Empress 8 tournament, and it'll be interesting to see Ronnie Knox's technical finesse versus the power game of the international bitch slayer Ruby Roberts.
Well, we're now underway. The bell has rung. Drake for South still calling it down the middle.
There we see, as I was alluding to there, Brian, the strength game of Ruby Roberts. And what Ronnie Knox needs to utilise that wrestling technique, utilise that catch can, hold for hold style to take Ruby Roberts off her game. Focus on a body part, utilise and exploit that body part, or even do that, Brian. Even do what you need to do in order to win this match and advance to the next round of the Empress 8 tournament.
Well, using the hair is illegal.
Ronnie had till 5, Brian. Ronnie had till 5.
Well, no excuse is good for a lot of you guys, isn't it? Anyway, there's a full Nelson now by Ronnie.
After an underutilised hold in professional wrestling, Brian, and Ronnie Knox was utilising that hold to perfection before the power game of Ruby Roberts is displayed. And now
Reverse elbow, clothesline by Ruby. Scoop slam. Hooks a leg. 2 only.
threats of Ruby's power game early on in the match. Really needs to...
Ruby is, of course, a second generation wrestler. Of course, she's the cousin of Bobby Roberts.
Interesting there we go. Now, with Ronnie Knox, here's the thing. She is a tremendous technical wrestler. She's not afraid to throw hands, not afraid to lay the boots in, and that's what she's doing right here, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, Brian.
Well, going for that body part, that arm.
That's what I'm talking about, Brian. Utilize the wrestling, manipulate a joint, focus and exploit that body part. Even just do that. It's perfectly fine. Utilize that 5 count. All good.
A lot of wrestlers tend to use the 5 count to their advantage.
And rightfully so. You have to, sometimes in this job, Brian, you have to do what you have to do in order to pick up that win, in order to pick up that winner's purse.
Ronnie back to that arm now.
Engineering the arm of Ruby Roberts. Engineering the arm, Brian. Because Ronnie Knox is the professional wrestling engineer.
You hear just, look at Ruby just in pain. She's in so much pain.
Now I like what Ruby's doing there. She's trying to make sure her shoulders aren't pinned down to the mat, bridging, turning her shoulder.
Ronnie again, just keeping to that arm. In the short period of time, and I'm sure you've alluded to it, the short period of time that Ronnie has been on the circuit, she is a submission specialist somewhat. And look at those European uppercuts to the arm and just yanking the arm down again.
Combination offense.
Look at the knee right into the bone. And look, she's smiling. Irish whip off the ropes, cross body.
Big dive across there, Brian. Now usually what you'd do is you'd always try and hook that leg, but notice that Ronnie Knox had that arm which has been wearing down. Ronnie Knox had that arm that she has been wearing down, pinned to the mat, now hooking the leg, making sure that that left arm is neutralized as well.
Oh, 2 count. Oh. And now, again, Ruby keeping her shoulders off the mat.
And I can have a look at the placement of Ronnie Knox's arm there.
Using the 5 count there. Ruby got to the ropes. Ronnie has to break the hold. Uppercut.
Ronnie Knox showing a bit of the national pride there. God save the Queen.
Well, she's got a lot to brag about. Of course, the Women's World Cup team did win the World Cup a few weeks back.
They brought it home, Brian. They brought it home.
Yeah, they did.
Question is, which one of these two competitors can bring a victory home?
Well, there's a follow-away slam by Ruby. Tried to go for the pin, but the arm just gave way. You know, she crawled and then the arm just gave way. Too much damage.
Now that one power move by Ruby Roberts, that could be the difference maker in this contest. That could give Ruby Roberts the advantage that she needs here. As it looks like the crowd's on the side of Ruby Roberts here, looking to regain her composure. Big splash in the corner. And another one for good measure.
Ruby's got some momentum going here. Fisherman suplex. Floats into the cover. You have to believe if she went with the bridge, she may have had her.
Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Roll up. Hooks it tight. Oof! What a forearm by Ruby.
Ronnie took that little bit of hesitation to show a bit of frustration there, and that gave Ruby the upper hand.
Suplex, but Ronnie jumped out of it. Ronnie now, there's a Kamara lock.
Oh, here we go, yes. If Ronnie Knox can get the torque, just...
Well, if she can get the legs locked, she does.
Get where she needs to be. Here we go. This
Ruby,
is it. This is it. Go on. Go on,
Ruby
Ronnie.
vertical base if she can get to the ropes. Ruby just needs to get to the ropes. She's a few feet away. No, she's tapped. There's the bell. Ronnie's not letting go. Come on.
There's that mean streak of Ronnie Knox. I like what I see, Brian. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Let go of the hold. You won the match. So Ronnie Knox will advance, and she will take on Jade Black. And look, just very quickly before we get your take on this analysis, there's the brackets for next week. Maithen Struthers will take on Iona Sky. Ronnie Knox will take on Jade Black.
Both interesting matches in their own right, but it'll be interesting to see how the professional wrestling engineer, it'll be interesting to see her prowess versus the passion of the passionate gem, Jade Black. But I wouldn't like to be Jade Black. I wouldn't like to be her at all.
Well, is it going to be a tough test for Jade Black? As Ronnie waves by, and we'll see her again. And we'll see you again next week for the semi-finals. From Luke Aldridge, see you then.